My name is Professor Adipala Ekwamu, and I'm the Chief Executive of RUFORUM, a consortium of 143 universities across the 5 regions of the African continent. RUFORUM works to harness the capacities of universities across Africa to support the development agenda for the continent. In particular, RUFORUM works to support human capital development, more so focusing on strengthening the capacity for agricultural transformation in Africa. Secondly, we work to build broad capacity in the area of science, technology, and innovation so that the continent has, we strengthen the innovation capacity in the continent for generating solutions to the continent's development agenda. But more importantly, it provides a platform for mutual support for African universities to collaborate in various undertakings. For example, in research, such that if we have the University of Abomey-Calavi working together with the University of Zambia, maybe working together with the University of Evangelica, so that we are dealing with issues across the continent, but also those that are unique to each individual country. Also, RUFORUM provides a platform for catalyzing the engagement of universities to work especially with rural communities to foster rural transformation. Of recent, we have joined the efforts by the African governments to focus on aspects of skill development so that the graduates that come out of the universities have adequate skills for self-employment and for starting businesses. So those are some of the core activities of RUFORUM. Importantly, RUFORUM also provides a platform for engagement with policymakers. And this is why in this conference that we are going to have in Cotonou, we are convening a meeting of African ministers, first to meet themselves, but also to meet with university leaders. The other issue that RUFORUM is involved on is promoting inclusivity so that we harness the capacities of the various groups in the continent to work collectively to support Africa's development. In this regard, we have a special focus on increasing the pool of women scientists in Africa. Accordingly, during this meeting on the 9th of December, we will be hosting a meeting that we hope will be presided over by the Vice President of Benin, where we'll be discussing on how best to promote inclusivity in research for development. We would like to see more girls and women joining university education and taking leadership position. We would like to make sure that our research looks at the broader gender perspective so that we have gender-sensitive research across the continent. The other issue that we have at RUFORUM, we work with African universities to respond to development challenges. For example, a major concern across our continent today is the issue of climate change and variability. And we are working with a number of universities, such as the University of Nairobi in Kenya. We are working with the university in Dakar. We are working with the university in Cote d'Ivoire to see how we can develop innovations and technologies to respond to climate change. The other issue that we are dealing with, arising particularly from the COVID-19. COVID-19 has grossly affected learning in several of our education institutions, right from the basic to higher education level. So we are working collaboratively together to make sure we support our universities to integrate e-learning such that we can share courses across the continent. And I'm happy to know that the University of Abomey-Calavi is one of the champions driving the integration of e-learning and also sharing resources with other universities across the continent. It's really a great honor and pleasure for the RUFORUM network to be in Benin because University in Benin were some of the first universities in West Africa to join the RUFORUM as early as in 2010, when we were only 66 universities. We have now grown to 143 universities, and through the efforts of universities in Benin, there are more universities in West Africa participating in RUFORUM. So this meeting is very, very special for us. It's the second continent-wide conference that we are hosting in West Africa. The last one that we hosted was in 2019 in Ghana, and this year we are here in Cotonou, Benin. It is partly because of the leadership role, the push for Pan-Africanism by the Benin government and by the Benin institutions to try to work across the continent. For these meetings, our purpose always is to bring the various actors in the agricultural sector and also in the higher education sectors to review the development landscape in the continent and to review the work that African universities are doing and how best the African universities could be guided to focus their work more to respond to challenges at country levels, but also at the continent. So for this meeting, you have government representatives, various countries. We have, for example, 14 countries that will be present in this meeting, including, of course, your country, Benin. We have Botswana participating in this meeting. We have Cameroon participating in this meeting. We have the Democratic Republic of Congo participating in the meeting. We have Eswatini participating here. We have Ghana. We have Liberia. We have Sierra Leone. We have Mali. You have Malawi. We have Namibia. We have Mozambique. We have Uganda. A wide range of countries across the continent are gathering here, including the policy leaders. But in addition to that, we also have other actors, the private sector, because it's really important that the work of universities contribute to support business development in the continent. So we have a large number of private sector representatives that will be in this meeting. We also have research agencies, not only within Africa, but even outside Africa, who will be participating in this conference. And we shall be having the universities. All these universities across the continent and others, including in Europe, in the US, are going to be converging in Benin, either physically or virtually. And I think for this particular meeting, our main intention is to review the progress that we have made over the last few years, because during these meetings, we make commitments and governments give us tasks of what we need to implement. So this meeting is going to help us to review the progress that we have made and to try to chart new direction on where we as universities should be going, but in line with the priorities of our continent, especially as guided by the African Union Agenda 2063. Now, some of the highlights of this meeting. We are about promoting innovations. And as part of this conference, we have run a continental-wide competition where we invited young Africans with innovative ideas, with young businesses to share them. 22 of the top applicants out of our 400 will be recognized on Friday this year. We'll be recognizing 22 young African innovators. In addition, we would like to promote excellence in science. So we also invited for competition targeting Benin, where we wanted young scientists to showcase what they have done to contribute to development in Benin and how what they're doing can contribute to broader development across the continent. During this meeting on Friday, we will be recognizing and awarding prizes to the 5 top young upcoming scientists from Benin. There are others, but these are the 5 that have been identified through the competitive process. Finally, RUFORUM is about promoting agricultural development. The main actors in agricultural development are the farmers. So we have asked the Ministry of Agriculture in Benin, through its processes, to identify 3 outstanding farmers. And during this ceremony on Friday, we will be giving prizes to 3 top farmers in Benin. So it is a collection of activities reviewing the targets that we have set ourselves, what the African Union and the member states have tasked us, and also to see how we as African universities are adapting to emerging challenges. We will also be discussing how do we support, strengthen our collaborations across the continent. So we'll be reviewing these efforts. And as part of that meeting, we are hosting a global meeting for actors in higher education, not only within Africa, but globally. There will be participation from China, there will be participation from Korea, there will be participation from Europe, Japan, from the US, Latin America, on how the higher education sectors in Africa can lesson learn and build partnership with other higher education networks across Africa. So it's a number of activities that will be taking place. But finally, we have a special event, exhibitions. We have invited young innovators, farmers, and other entrepreneurs to come and showcase their enterprises. And we really invite you, those who can, to come and see some of the innovation. There's a lot of brilliant ideas coming out of our continent. What we need is to know about them and see how we can help them, nurture them to become business undertaking. And this is all going to be happening at the Palais, Congrès de Benin.